Hi guys, so back again today for another video, and today what we're going to be talking about is our second tips and tricks video, so little things you can do to get an advantage and get your character ahead in Wartune. Also, I'll be putting in the bottom right corner, I'll be putting a list of all these, so you don't have to remember me or watch the whole thing if you feel like it. Also, I've got a little guild battle in the background with an AFK guild to give you something to watch instead of just listening to my voice the whole time. Alright, let's kick it off with our first tip or trick, and that is, today, is for you to level up your gems before you convert them. Now this is a simple maths thing, as for example, level 2 gems cost 10,000 gold to convert, but it costs 4 gems to get to a level 3, and then if you convert a level 3 it's 20,000. So it would cost you 40,000 to convert 4 level 2s and then make it into a level 3 of what you want. So what you want to do is you keep leveling up gems of the ones you don't want to use up to the point that you get to the level that you're equipping. So if you're putting in level 4 or 5 gems into your equipment at the moment, you want to level your spare gems or gems you don't want to use, magic attack if you're a knight or an archer, that sort of thing. You want to level those up to about 4 or 5 before you convert them. And that will save you a lot of gold. And the higher you do this up, so the more money you save. So if you do a level 6, you learn more sort of per gem than you would at a level 2. So that's number 1. Number 2 for our tips and tricks today is to use your altar spins every day. And you find this if you go to your guild panel, you go to your guild territory area or something like that, and go to Divine Altar. You click there and you get spin for items every day, and it costs 20,000 gold every time you do it, but it's really important. There's lots of things you can get advantage from this. For example, you can get socketing rods, and you can get crypt keys. You can get lots of stuff that are usually only you can buy with Balins, but you can get them for free as a non-casher. So that's really important to do those every day, because they're a low chance to get them, but if you do it every day for 30, 42, 8 months, whatever, that means by the time that you get to your level 60 legendary gear, you've got all your socketing rods ready to go, and then you don't have to buy 500 Balins worth of sockets, that sort of thing. Saves you a lot of money. Next tip or trick of the day is that if you're sitting in our Tomb of Kings, where you fight players, or versions of players, controlled by the computer, if you get a group of 4 that don't have any mages in it, you can take off your magic defense, either it be gems or more conveniently probably your astrals, which are easy to switch, and put on something else, for example HP or whatever else you're likely using that you've got sitting around in your astral pack. This is the same thing. This applies to class wars as well, for example, where you're fighting your own type of characters, so there's no point having the same type of, for example, if you're a mage, you don't want physical defense. So you unequip the gems, you change astrals, and it works again in Tomb of Kings. So watch out every time you spawn Tomb of Kings, see if there's no mages around. I've never seen an all-mage group, but I suppose that's entirely possible as well. So you do the reverse, you do a physical. Now, similar to that, next tip is if you're sitting in World Boss, what you can do is you can unequip 1 set of gems and equip 8 crit gems. This will increases your damage a lot by the World Boss, and the crit rate against the World Boss seems to be pretty constant as you level up. I've not noticed any change, so the higher you crit, just the more you crit him, which obviously you can do a lot more damage, and if you're an archer you're going to get more rage back for you to attack them and use your skills or whatever. So you can even do this for each world boss. So if you don't want to use crit gems, usually you can just go in, unequip all your gems right before the world boss, put in some crit gems, and then unequip it afterwards. Me personally, I'm too lazy to do that, but it does give you a little bit of extra gold. So if you're one of those characters, guys that like to min-max their characters, that's a useful tip for you. Next tip comes from Death, which suggests that if you're having problems with lag during the game, and this is a really common thing, mostly to do, I think this is just, this is a Flash browser game, and it's trying to use like a gigabyte of memory, and it's just really not designed for that. But what he suggested is if you do Control-Alt-Delete and go to the Processes tab, and then go find the Flash player, which you'll see if you're running Wartune is like using a shed load of memory and everything. Go right click on that and change process priority to high. he found that that helped with his lag quite a bit. Me personally, I didn't see much of a change, to be honest, but I don't really get too much lag to begin with. So that might help you guys, might not. It's worth a try. And every time you start the program up, I think you have to change the priority if you want to keep doing that. Next one is probably the best one of the day, is strategy-wise for items and item events. So every now and then, again, for the Halloween events or whatever, there'll be a quest where you have to train your mount, engrave your soul with soul crystals, that sort of thing. You can give yourself a really big advantage if you wait and save up until those events happen. So for example, you just save all your mount whips, even though you could upgrade a level and make yourself a bit stronger. You wait until that event comes, and then not only do you get to turn in that quest more often and get more XP, but a lot of these quests give you stuff back. So the mount whip training or the mount training quest also gives you more mount whips back. So even saving them up, you'll generate more. And also what they're trying to get you to do is use those up previously, and then get you to buy it in the shop, because they'll always have a hot sale for that item when the quest comes up, which is a con. So you need to get around that by saving it. That's a big tip for the non-cashers out there. You can get a lot more out of the items you do get from regular drops. Another one you can see in the background here as I'm doing this guild battle is as you attack the ward tower, what I've done previously is I will change the number of my troops. I'll unequip them, equip them back, and set it to 1. That way, when I'm attacking the ward tower won't kill all my troops, all 16,000 or whatever, and I don't lose a ton of money every time I attack the ward tower. Okay, and another thing to do for guild battles again is, once again, people feeling like they've got a lot of lag during these things. What you can do to help that out is you can go to your character panel, you can click on close, and you can click remove close, and you can also remove your titles by switching your titles off, and you also can go to your mount and switch it back to the regular mount. And for a lot of people that will help their lag. Maybe not you, maybe you're not lagging, but it might help out your guildmates who, by having to have them to load less models essentially. Okay, so that wraps up all the tips for today. Thank you very much for watching it. Once again, if you have any of these tips or something that yourself, leave them in the comments, send me a message, etc, etc. If you've got anything you want to say to me, always love to hear it. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed that, and bye bye.